Porth.
Towing
packed in a
caravans
car.
in rubbish cars.
My mum smoking Regal King size and my dad smoking Hamlet. So Dave, recently you attended the Cornwall versus Oldham game. Trip down there. I mean, it's a bit of a scotch, Dave. But what was your journey like? Was it good? Did it take you a while?
To be honest, it was quite good. It is a long way. It's 300 plus miles from the northwest, but it's pretty straightforward. It's M5 all the way to Exeter. Now there's a couple of choices of dual carriageway to Bodmin and quite a straight road down to the bottom there. So no, it's not as bad as I remember it when we went down as kids.
Travelling to Penryn, Porth.
Towing caravans in rubbish cars.
My mum smoking Regal King size and my dad smoking Hamlet. Windows up.
Yeah, they were wind-up windows. They'd only come down a little bit, wouldn't they?
That's it.
Leather seats, but they weren't leather. They were plastic seats in that sun.
Posh, you had leather seats.
Pretend leather.
Yeah. So the journey down was good, and they play at Penryn, is that right?
Yeah, they play at Penryn Rugby Club, not far from Falmouth, which is where we stay, actually, in Falmouth. So, great place to visit, plenty of pubs, plenty to do, and Penryn is just a few miles from there. It's a good little club, actually. It's a League One standard club, but it's quite a good club, and plenty of space around there for the atmosphere to be created with the fair type festival sort of approach they took to it, yeah.
So when you got there, what was it like? You know, is it a long walk from the car park to the ground? Is it easy parking? And then is it just stuff going on outside, or is it just straight into the game and down to business?
So we made contact beforehand because we wanted access to the coaches to speak to them and some of the players, and I made arrangements to have a chat before. So we thought we'd get down there early. So we headed down there probably about an hour and a half before kick-off, quite easily, and the car park was already full. It's not a massive car park, but still, it was full well before kick-off. So we had to find alternate parking. There's plenty of parking, off-street parking, just down the road, and on-street parking. So it didn't take us too long to find somewhere. We made the walk up then, and there was already a lot of people milling around, walking up there. Lots of people queuing for tickets, a lot of people queuing to pay to get in, and we queued, we paid on the door. We wanted to go on the stand, but the stand was already sold out, so we had to stand.
So the rumours are not true then? They're not just giving free tickets away so anybody and everybody can get in? There are people actually queuing up and paying to go and watch?
Well, there were claims at free tickets, but I didn't see any. I spoke to a lot of people who were there. I saw a lot of people in the queue to buy tickets. There was plenty of people queuing up to pay on the door to get in. So, no, there was no evidence of free tickets as I could see. And there was a really good crowd, almost 1,200 people there to enjoy the game. And it was a brilliant game. Cornwall went 2 scores in front, and just before half-time, Oldham hit back. But I really enjoy that level of sport. You know, it's a good game of rugby. The two good teams going at it. And it's League One rugby. It's a bit more pure for me, that level of sport. You've not got super fine full-time athletes going at it. You've got the big guys against the little guys, some skillful guys against some really tough semi-professionals who are trying to make their way in the game. So that's interesting to watch on that pitch and see how that unfolds. But no, there was no sign of free tickets as I could see.
Yeah.
But maybe there is. You know, as you've pointed out before, Keith, a lot of schools are giving free tickets from all clubs, not just...
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, St Helens and some of the other Super League clubs give free tickets away to schools or certain organisations on certain games to get people in and give them that experience. So if there were free tickets to get people on board with Cornwall as a... Because it is a new sport down there, you know, they're playing at the Rugby Union ground, they're used to Rugby Union. But you said that the fans and that were quite knowledgeable about Rugby League, Dave.
Well, I wanted to experience the atmosphere. I wanted to talk to people whilst I was there. So I was making a bit of a nuisance of myself, walking around, taking photographs, chatting to as many people as I could. I was really taken aback about how interested and how knowledgeable on Rugby League the Cornish fans were. It really surprised me. And they were really enjoying it. They were on board with the game. When we walked in, it wasn't like a normal game. There was a completely different atmosphere. It was like a carnival atmosphere. People were looking forward to the day. There was a coffee stall, there was a pie stall, chips, there's bars, there's people milling around having a drink, watching the game, walking around the pitch, chatting. It's a brilliant atmosphere. There was none of the politics you tend to get when you watch two northern teams. They're just looking forward to a great game of rugby league. And what Cornwall said to me, the marketing and the backroom staff, is that they want to create an atmosphere and an occasion where people will want to return regardless of the score. And I saw that. I want to go back. I'd love to go back. It was a brilliant experience. I just enjoyed the day. Can't wait to go back and watch another game of rugby league there. And they've created that. And the fans were talking about the previous matches, saying how they've had a few really tough scores, they've had some improved scores, but it hasn't put them off going back because they enjoy supporting the Cornish team. They were really behind the team as well. Over the tannoy, Oggy, 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 everyone's cheering. It was a great atmosphere, and they were really behind their team. So it was just a lovely occasion, really, just an enjoyable occasion to be part of. I really enjoyed it.
And you said you were talking to a few people. In fact, you caught up with coach of Cornwall, Neil Kelly. Let's have a look what you had to say here.
Neil, very well played today. There's a lot of good going on down there in Cornwall. I've been really impressed by the atmosphere, the enthusiasm from the crowd, the players and yourselves and the coaching staff. How impressed are you with how it's gone this first season?
I've been really pleased with it, really. Not least, probably most of all, really, the support we've received has been brilliant. And they're very knowledgeable. To say we're 5 hours from the Rugby League heartlands, I think the support has been really knowledgeable and understanding that we're in a new division and playing a new level of rugby. You know, so the support's been great. I'm a little bit... Listen, it'd be easy for me to say we've not won, so we've failed. But actually, think where you see where we started off from and where we are at the moment. We've actually come a long way, but we haven't quite got there enough to get the wins yet.
I did think when I've been watching your scores, they've been getting better all year. How happy are you with the development of the squad throughout that season?
Yeah, well, we've had to work hard. There's been some significant changes to the squad, and there'll be significant changes between now and the beginning of next season. But we're putting an emphasis on being down here now. If you base yourself down here, that's the only reason why you're down here. So there's no reason for you not to be conditioned to. I think some of the scorelines we've suffered have been through lack of conditioning, not necessarily effort or skill. There's no reason for that to be the case next year, and hopefully that could be the element that we need to make a win.
So that could be the difference between the scorelines getting away from you in the last 10 and turning some of those closer scorelines into wins?
Yeah. Last week at Rochdale we've lost by, I think, 20 points. But if you look at the nature of the game, it's like a one-score game. And I'd argue this has been the same today, because of fitness, because of a little bit of spirit of the team, thinking that they've lost, that they're conceding tries late, and even in the first half they're conceding tries late that we pay a big price for in the long run. So, hopefully his condition will improve.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've been really impressed with it. I've loved the atmosphere, love what you're doing down there, and I'm going to say this is a new heartland for Rugby League.
I think it would be, and who knows? We're all on a journey, and we're so far on the journey, but we're not quite got to his destination yet.
Yeah.
So we will get there.
Well, we're fully behind you, and we're really looking forward to coming back down next year. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Great interview, Dave, and it's great that Neil took the time to talk to you. What's he like as a gentleman?
What a lovely guy. He really was. Just a really nice guy. And off camera, he was chatting about the sport. He was chatting about living down there, what they're aiming to do. It was just enjoyable being in his company, really. And hopefully across the interview, we came across showing appreciation for the fans, very appreciative of the Cornish team and how they're supporting them. That's all the way through the staff, the owners, the fans. He really enjoying it. He also spoke about progressing them, didn't he? He mentioned about how he's going to take them forward. So I'm really looking forward to how their scores come on next year. And I really enjoyed chatting to Neil. I wish him the best of luck. I'm looking forward to chatting to him again, hopefully, next time. And he said he'd come on the show sometime. So hopefully
fantastic.
We can get him on too.
We'll get him on. You also spoke to Oldham chairman.
Yeah, Chairman, Chris Hamilton. Always great to chat to Chris. Very knowledgeable about the game. A different insight being a chairman, and he's always very honest, and he had some interesting things to say.
Chris, you okay? So a long travel down to Cornwall. You've come run out winners today. How's your journey been, first of all, from Oldham to Cornwall?
Long, as you'd expect. Came down after training yesterday. Different spells of traffic on the motorway. In fairness then, the bit that we thought was going to catch us, which is when you're on the A roads, wasn't too bad. But we arrived about 5:30 last night, went straight to the beach to get the lads a stretching in the sea. Freshen them up, shall we say, and then we took them out for a meal last night, watched the boxing, and then straight to bed, tucked up, counted them in, and then obviously here today, and delighted to have come away with the 2 points.
How's your experience been? Because it's a new area for Rugby League, a long travel, different ground. How's the whole experience in Cornwall been?
I think it's like when you go to Cumbria, people moan, don't they, about the distance to Cumbria. They won't after this. It is a heck of a journey, but I think you've seen today, lots of Oldham fans are here for the week or half a week, etc. And ultimately, the main thing for us was making sure that we've enjoyed it and come away with that win, which we have managed to do, and keep the momentum going for us.
There's a lot of Oldham fans and very vocal. How thrilled were the players at having that support behind them?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why at the end of the game they went over and did the victory song in front of them as a thank you for those who take the time and the trouble and the expense to come down here. But it's one of them. It's the first time as well, so there's quite a few people that wanted to be here because it was the first game on a new ground in a new area. So I think everybody's happy, really.
I really enjoyed the experience. I certainly have. I think it was a brilliant game. Enjoyed watching it. As a spectator, it was a great game and a great experience. And it's been a tough season for Oldham, but how are you going to build on that and improve on that next season?
Well, before we talk about next season, we're still very much in the hunt for this season. We're 2 points behind Hunslet as it stands at the moment. And our aim is to try and catch them and get into the playoffs and then give it a good go in there. But we know, again, I know the cliches, we've been doing it one game at a time with a few lads missing today, so it's a little bit of a patched up team for different reasons. So we're delighted that's 4 wins out of the last 5 now, which is the consistency that we've been craving for all year. So there's still a lot to play for us for this year, although obviously like most clubs we are actively working on next year and what happens, but in the meantime the focus, like I say, is to make sure that we finish this season as well as we can.
You're certainly on the roll with those games, and if you go into the playoffs and you make it, you hopefully take that momentum in there. Have you got real aspirations to go well in those playoffs?
Yeah, definitely. I think we can shock a few teams in there, to be honest. But as I say, the main thing first of all is to make sure we get in there.
Excellent. So, final shout out to the team and the fans for today, and a little bit about your trip.
Yeah, so thank you to everybody who's come down, whether it's on the day or I think there's not many done that, to be honest. Enjoy the rest of your week or the rest of your time here. We'll be heading back shortly, looking forward to that 8 hours on the coach. But no, we've got the win. Thank you for your support, and look forward to seeing you all at Sale next week.
Thank you very much, and I've really enjoyed it. The best of luck for the rest of the season. We hope you make the playoffs, you go well, and take some of that momentum into the...
Great little interview again, Dave, but I think next time we're going to give you the microphone to take with you, because obviously I was away, you was heading down to Cornwall, so the kit was a bit limited, but the sound quality, it still comes through with the words that they had to say. Both men very passionate about the club, about the occasion, about the day, and some great positives for League One.
Definitely. League One's a great sport and a great level to watch. Rugby League, I enjoy watching it, so I'd urge anyone to get down to some of those games, watch them, get behind their clubs. Even if you don't support those clubs, get down and just enjoy the occasion of watching the Rugby League. Certainly down Cornwall. Yeah. We'll make a weekend of it next time. Yeah.
I also found out as well through our social media since your visit down there that there are a few, I'm going to call them expats, but they're staying in there, but like there's people who were Widnes supporters, but now in Cornwall they've adopted Cornwall as their team, and from other clubs throughout the Rugby League. So that's nice to see as well, that people are taking to it and they're getting to watch some rugby down that end of the country.
Definitely. It seems to be everyone's second team at the moment. Everyone's behind them, looking forward to them doing well. There's some scepticism around it, wondering how long it will last. And I think I probably had some of that as well. But after going down there and speaking to them, there was no hint that this is only short term. They're in it for the long haul and they're looking to develop that team over a period of time. So it alleviated a lot of my concerns and doubts, and the enthusiasm for it is infectious. And yeah, definitely great for anyone who's down there from up north who likes Rugby League to get on board and get behind them. But also a lot of new supporters down there who've never been to a Rugby League game before. They're proper born and bred Cornish, and they're really behind them and enjoying it. So yeah, it's great to see.
Good. I am a bit disappointed though, Dave. I mean, I didn't even get... My mate went to Cornwall and all he brought me back was this lousy T-shirt. I'm not even a bar of rock.
I bought you a Cornish pasty, but I ate it on the way back. I got hungry.
Self-preservation.
yeah. I had too many of the Cornish pasties. Still repeating on me now a week after.
You said that twice.
They're still repeating on me now a week after.
Thanks for joining us on the Dockhouse Rugby Show. We're going to send Dave out somewhere else soon. In fact, put your suggestions in the comments on YouTube of where you want him to go, and we'll get him out there like a roving reporter, like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, go easy. Maybe not where do they want him to go. They might say far away.
Which game would you like Dave to attend within travelling distance?
And return.
Yes, and return safely.
It's not one way ticket you're asking for.
No. Oh, no, I'm going to sit here and chat to myself, am I, Dave? I miss you. The Dockhouse Rugby Show is proud to support the Teardrops Homeless charity. Teardrops, supporting your community.